niggas.
Yo, let's get
putting
into
out
it,
there.
yo.
Let's get to the real.
The Errol Spence.
Let's get to it.
Terence
Was it
Crawford?
July? Is it in July?
It's
29th?
29th. It's finally here.
It's going down.
It's finally happening.
It's going down.
They got the mini bushes, so you can tell they've been.
Yeah.
They've
You see
been
what
in
they
the
look
gym,
like
yo.
this at the
Somebody
end of the
put
fight.
you see somebody put the meme together where my man Terence Crawford was the Aquaman and he had the steak. I mean the shark on
that was
the
hard.
steak. That was hard.
That was
man.
hard.
I ain't gonna hold you. That was hard.
Fishing.
That's got me thinking a
Earl
little
the
bit.
big fish, he said, as he said.
That's the shark. You know what I mean?
I got Errol 100%.
Okay.
I got Errol.
I like the confidence.
I don't sleep on excellent footwork and excellent body punching.
How many fights of Terence Crawford have you seen
I've seen a good number. Probably like
to see his abilities?
I probably seen like 12 to 15 of his fights.
nah, I'm
you
not
feel me?
mad at
Like
that.
I watched
I'm
a
not
lot of
mad at that.
boxing, so it's like
Because I was heavy Errol on the episode that we had with
Errol strong.
what was my man that was on the Goldie Mac. Goldie Mac, I was Earl, regardless. I still feel like that, but I don't know how
See, I feel like a lot of
how
people,
I feel about that.
I feel like a lot of people's litmus test is Sean Porter and how Terence Crawford beat the shit out of Sean Porter. But Terence Crawford and Errol Spence fought two separate Sean Porters. Sean Porter was in shape when he fought Errol Spence. When he fought Terence Crawford, he wasn't focused. Anytime your pops jump in there like, yo, nah, this nigga, he bluffing right now.
Listen.
Like, nah.
Was it before or after Earl?
After
That was
Earl.
after Earl.
It was
Listen.
after Earl. Like probably 2
Then I'm
years
looking
after
at
Earl.
that totally different.
And also, you got to remember that Sean Porter. I'm not gonna give a full-fledged prediction yet because we got a lot to talk about leading up.
So
to it.
great.
And I'm gonna give the full-fledged prediction after,
Closer to the fight.
Yeah, much closer to the fight. But I will say this: that Sean Porter fight, you said he beat him at the end. If you haven't watched that fight in a while, Sean Porter was somebody that, if I remember, he could have been up on people's cards at that point.
I agree 100%.
He was giving him a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And me and somebody else
I agree 100%.
thought that Sean Porter
He stung him a few times
but
too,
you
right?
remember-
always was going to beat
He
Terence
stung
Crawford
him.
when
He
fought
stung
him.
him
But
like
I
a
think
few times,
I think
right?
you and I coined the term when we was like Sean Porter is the litmus test for greatness.
Oh, yeah.
If you beat this nigga,
Yeah.
oh
I think
you in
it's
that
either
that,
him or
that
Isak
round.
Cruz, yo. Like,
Well, Esai's a little bit younger. Sean Porter fought all of them.
Sean Porter is that nigga, yo.
Sean Porter got
Sean
that
Porter
football
and Sean
background
Porter
too.
was
yo.
that ugly nigga I
football,
always hated on him like with his
I think
chippy
that football
Earl,
background
fought
helps him
Crawford,
because
he
that
fought-
football is gonna get you in there with the gritty.
He
You're
fought
gonna take a
Danny.
punch.
He fought
everybody.
He done fought everybody that's tough.
Keith Thurman. Like
He fought everybody he could possibly
He
fight.
fought Kell Brook. Like Sean
fought
Porter,
everybody he could
he's the
fight.
only guy that
Sean
really
Porter,
fought
we
them all.
want you on here. Yo.
Shout
I be
out Sean
watching
Porter,
Porter,
yo.
your shit on
Porter
YouTube.
He's the
yo.
litmus
The
test
Porter
for
way. I be
greatness.
watching. Yo.
That's
I
your
like
term.
this
That's
shit.
He be
coined
doing-
from
he be
Coach Class
Tim
Pod.
Bradley
Just
sometimes,
don't wear
but
them big ass ties and shit when you come on here.
you know,
But
they
if you
sold
come
him the
on, come
deal.
talk to us, yo.
I think I see ways that. See, I was watching. I don't know. I've been watching Terence Crawford since 130. It's been years. Like, it's crazy to even think about stuff now. It's like, wow, like that much time has passed. Like watching a guy like be a prospect to a champion to all of that. That's
Because
what
they
the
fighting
dope-
at 168,
That's the
right?
dope- 168.
No, hell no. They like
Mike,
140.
you more experienced boxing fan. than me.
Wait. Sean Porter and
140, 47?
Terence Crawford?
They're like 147 or something like that.
147.
Oh, 147.
Yeah, they're not that big.
You gonna have people come on here and call you a casual, and I know you're not a casual.
I'm a casual for that statement, but I'm not a casual.
Like,
God damn,
whoa.
it was the sauce. He
Might
had a
have
little
been
bit
the
too much
sauce.
It
sauce.
wasn't sauce. They don't know we had an episode before this.
Oh yeah.
We recorded
But anyway,
right before this.
Like, so Terence Crawford switching this and that, the third, like, switching back and forth, the body shots, the foot movement. But the one thing that's going to get him in a lot of trouble is the dog in him. And when I say that is, there are times where instead of using his boxing, and he's tough. Sometimes he want to show, yo, I could beat you up. And it works some fights. In some fights, it has gotten him caught with shots. And y'all know who Errol is. That's
He got that
Doghouse.
power.
Earl is a dog.
That's
man.
Doghouse. You get in the doghouse with him.
Yeah.
What they say,
playing-
man down?
completely
Ain't that man
You
down?
playing
Earl
his
is a
game.
beast.
Don't be
bro.
fucking
He
with
start
man
beating you
down
up,
like
so
that.
it could get real interesting. This is a great clash of styles, man.
I'm excited.
And
Earl's a
anytime-
good technical fighter.
Y'all
with
heading out
jab,
there to
jab.
Vegas?
No, and I'm gonna say it right here and right now. We spoke about this before. I always said I was going to the fight and I was going to holler at y'all and everything. They lost they lost gate money from me, and I don't know about everything else. You know, the Vegas wins with the hotel and all that, but they lost gate money, which is more than pay-per-view money.
Yes.
And I always said this. I said I was going to go to that fight if it had happened at least 2 more years prior for this. We've been asking for this fight like at
A
least
long time. That's
It's
why
like 5
niggas
years in
is so
the ring.
fed up.
5 years.
I was listening to Cam and
lost
Mason.
gate money from me.
Did you hear Cam and Mason and break it down?
We was
Everybody-
asking for
they're
this
not getting
before,
gate money from
and I'm glad you came out of it okay, but we was asking for this fight before Errol Spence got in a car accident.
I'm gonna tell y'all, I know personally
Way before.
the people who sparked it. I know them personally. And while Errol Spence, I can give you I'm not gonna get into it right now. We'll be talking about this over the time. I can give you a timeline of when this fight first started getting started. I can tell you the people. I know the people, and
Patreon.
And basically,
It's
what
coming
happened
soon.
is, I can tell you how it led up to the first time Errol Spence went to the podium and started talking about Terence Crawford, and some people say he was sauced up at that podium and whatever. But I knew it sparked it. I knew who he was in a car with. I know exactly what live stream started it. They're not gonna get credit. Salute to the LDBC. They not
Oh, I
gonna
love
get the
them
credit
niggas,
they
yo.
deserve.
I love them niggas to death.
But that fight first, now it's mainstream.
You know what?
And because they was talking about other fights, that wasn't even the main one. Because I think Terence was still at 140, and the fight started getting talked about because of them, and that's what sparked it. Errol went to that first one, started talking, and then the rest is history.
Yo, you said the
Give him credit for
LBC
that.
on here. We gotta give love to them niggas a little bit. That was a part of the changing of my mind frame a little bit when I was going from I was heavy on robbery until I watched the nigga break it down a little bit with the LBC or 75 Sports
78?
78
Sports TV.
him.
See,
He gave it to me. I was listening to this. It was only a 7-8 minute clip or something like that, but he really was. I was listening to this nigga, yo. Like, he clearly understands what he's looking at. So I've listened to shit like that. Zay, I really revere you in this boxing shit.
Yeah, we
so
know
I
you the
listen to what
boxing
you
goat,
say.
dog.
So when I seen you put that tweet out, I was like, all right, bet. Let me start dialing shit back a little bit. Even now, I'm still starting to get more towards it. Like, all right, maybe it was more draw, aka Haney. Either way you want to lean with it. I'm starting to
I
get
don't
there
know what-
with it.
I don't know what anybody could have definitively just said. I'm giving Loma 7 rounds.
Yes.
No,
I can't-
I never
and I'm
said
starting to
7.
But
agree
if you're
with
saying
that.
you're leading Loma, that means you
He
have
has to have
you
that.
have to give him
He
at
has
least
to at
7
least
rounds.
have that. If
I'm-
he's
I want to
winning.
sit down. I need to
I
watch.
said-
Where did those 7 rounds?
My
Yes.
tweet
minimum you gave him?
at that time said
draw.
at best Loma wins. I would have said draw even.
That means you. At
But that
least
means
gave him
Loma
7
has
if you
7
lead in the
rounds.
Them last 3
minimum.
rounds to me. Them last 3
But
rounds.
where the
to me.
other 4?
That's
It was
what I'm
all
trying to.
toss
That's
up.
what he's saying.
I'm just saying. I just want to watch. I want to see the breakdown.
So to me, like I know Devin Haney. I want to say when I rewatch, he definitively won round 1 and probably 3. Everything up until 10 was a toss up to me. 10 and 11 and 12 and Loma won.
I gotta
me.
rewatch.
I think between 4
I have
and
to
6 and
rewatch.
7-ish, I got a good
was
push.
close,
Going to
though.
Devin. I know. I'm not saying he was beating him
close.
up
Yeah.
definitively, but from my personal eye, I can watch the round and tell you, okay, this is exactly why
His body game
I
was
would
crazy.
favor Haney in this round.
He was going
And
crazy to
even
the body.
shout out Shakur Stevenson. I watched it on Boxing Hype. After I watched watched it for the second time, he was like, "Yo, I rewatched it. It is much closer than we
It's
thought
way
because
closer.
we was emotional when we was watching it, and it's like we thought
Because of
Devin
the
was gonna come out
broadcast.
there and just
That
And really
broadcast
because of
in
the
crowd,
broadcast.
yeah.
We
And
might
we
have
thought
to
Devin
start
was gonna
watching
come out
on
and
mute.
beat the shit out of him.
We
'Cause the
real
way
live
that
might
Cam
have to
Wilson
start
the last
watching the
fight-
fights or the big fights on mute and then
Yeah, we
listening
gonna
to
mute 'em.
music
I
on
like
the
watching
background.
overseas. There's some overseas broadcasts that do a much better job.
Okay.
Than I'm just being honest than the broadcasts we get.
Okay.
Because I've watched some fights pre and post with other like broadcasts, and it just be like they do sometimes. Some of them can be by. It depends. They all got their things, but some of them do a much better job. Yeah,
I agree.
mean, so Errol Spence, Bud, it's happening. We're
We
gonna
hyped.
drag it out.
We
Because
hyped.
we're gonna have so much to talk about. Everybody has been waiting for this fight for so long.
Yes.
Undisputed sell the rights to a real fucking video game company so we can get these fights
Sell it to EA,
against
nigga.
each other, and we could do what we thought we would do against each other.
Y'all
Like, imagine
disgust
being able
me.
to have Isak Cruz against Ryan Garcia in a game, yo.
What?
That would be hard as fuck.
But Aesop wins it.
Yeah, Isak beats the
Yeah.
shit out of Ryan Garcia.
You're probably not tough enough for that.
And Rolly.
Hey, hold on, one more.
And
joint.
Rolly.
Bud, y'all see Bud, Terence Crawford. I want to say fully checked, but he was like, man, stop it, yo. Talking to Boots, Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
His last fight kind of.
I like Jaron. What he said about
I like
Jaron?
But Jaron kept was
He
like,
nice,
man, we've
but he
been
not that
asking
nice.
for the fight. We've been this. And Bud was
Nah,
like,
stop it,
because he was Bud was on. Wild
You're not
Together.
the one right
He
now.
was
I ain't
like-
gonna hold you. You're
he was
not
like,
the
when
one
you been
right
asking
now.
for? You and your pops been saying something different, man. Stop, man. Go back to sleep, yo.
Yeah,
so
relax.
That remind me.
those are
All
fights
right.
in the future that could happen.